That's the question of the hour, as far as I can tell.
It's a very good question, and I think Alan can
I
work
see a
on that.
mattress that would be picked up as soon as I hear it.
I guess what we could probably do is take a
But
picture.
I really don't want to put out an announcement, put out your mattresses.
No, but what I'm saying is like if you do that, take a picture with, if maintenance picks it up, and that way we can send a CCNR violation and along with the
Get
bill.
charged, yeah.
Yeah, that way the units stay clean, but we haven't forgotten, and people can't just dump it and not think that it's
If
not gonna
anything's
get
done
paid.
like that, we will pick it up, but we will also charge.
Yeah. Okay, so the membership needs to know that, and that's all we have for community council.
We can
Wait,
put that
oh,
in
Linda,
dispatch.
One quick thing on the candidate forum, are y'all wanting to do it at the service, where are y'all wanting to do it?
I don't know the answer to that I'm not in that decision process, but I will find out and we'll get back to you.
Right, and we just need to make sure that they don't
Last
book
I-
it, they don't book it for something.
The last I thought I heard was the NCO one.
Well, that's what I meant, like, so we just need to make sure that they don't have like a
Okay.
private party.
I'll write that down to make sure we get back to you on that.
Also depends on what COVID restrictions are from the county at that time.
Because we might have to do it over at the outdoor one.
And then we're dealing with weather, but fortunately Texas never gets too cold.
How many people show?
I don't know, in the past, I've seen 100, 150.
Yeah, kind of depends.
Yeah, could be days.
Also, you, please stay in touch with the election committee as far as their dates and stuff, so.
As to when they want to do it.
As to when they'll be done and their schedule is ready for a presentation to the board, and you'll know when to schedule the candidates for them.
I think y'all were discussing your January or February meeting time, and it would be February.
Okay. That's fine with me. All set?
Well, now we send out the ballots,
The 1st of February?
yes, at the 1st of February, so you kind of want to have the forum before people
That's
cast
why,
their
that's
ballots.
what
Sorry, I
that's
didn't
why I
bring
said
my,
you need to stay in touch with them with
yeah,
your schedule.
I'm sorry, I didn't bring my
They'll
schedule
eventually,
with me.
the schedule has to be presented to the board,
Yes.
and then stay in touch with them so you know when date the ballots go out, then you can set
Right.
your forum date.
Okay,
Okay?
all right, thank you.
Okay. So unfinished business, we took an email vote for approval of the election committee members, and approved were Barbara McFadden, Steve Fox as chairman, Kate Burkhart, Memo Guzman, and Francis Bitter. New business, discussion item, the PPP loan. I received a letter from Bank and Trust, and I'll just briefly read it to you. I also talked to Randy, our accountant, this morning, and he has gotten some additional information from both the bank and from the federal government and from our auditor, and he is in the process right now of filling out the forms to file for forgiveness. The letter is from Bank and Trust, addressed to Fort Clark Springs. PPP loan term modification, payment terms in accordance with the Paycheck Protection Program Flexibility Act. You will not be required to make any payments of principal or interest on this note before the date on which the SBA either remits the loan forgiveness amount on your loan to the Bank and Trust, SSB, or notifies the bank that no loan forgiveness is allowed. Interest will continue to accrue during the deferment period. Forgiveness, your loan forgiveness covered period is the 24-week period beginning on the date your loan was disbursed. If your loan was made prior to June 5th, 2020, you may elect to have your loan forgiveness covered period be the 8-week period beginning on the date your PP loan was disbursed. Once your loan forgiveness application has been processed by the SBA, the bank will notify you of remittance of the loan forgiveness amount, or that the SBA determined that no loan forgiveness is allowed. It will be at that time that the bank will advise you as to when your first payment will be due. In the event you do not submit a loan forgiveness application to the bank within 10 months after the end of your loan forgiveness covered period, you must begin paying principal and interest after that period, which in any event must be no later than October 31st, 2021. Payment schedule: at the end of the deferment period, your note will be repayable in equal and amortizing monthly payments beginning on the first day of the month following the end of the deferment period and continue until the maturity date, when any remaining balance will be due in full. When the loan forgiveness is determined and the deferral period ends, bank will send you a payment schedule with the amount of payments and due dates. The information contained in this notice is in addition and modification to the terms and conditions of your original Paycheck Protection Program note. To the extent it conflicts with prior terms, this provision controls. Randy Galloway is filling out the paperwork right now. He's got a contact at Bank and Trust in Del Rio that's been helping accountants fill out these forms, and they still believe that all of the amount will be ultimately forgiven. So we just wanted to provide progress on that. As you recall, it's $192,000 in cents. Okay. Okay, action item. First, approval or not of trick or treat. We received in your packet should be some information on trick or treating, CDC recommendations for trick or treating. On Halloween is a Saturday, October 31st. Trick or treat time is 5:30 to 9 p.m. From the county. Extra caution on Ann Street and around any other construction sites in town. This is again from the county. Trick-or-treating suggestions: avoid direct contact with trick-or-treaters, give out treats outdoors if possible, set up a station with individually bagged treats for kids to take, wash hands before handling treats, wear a mask, and then stay at least 6 feet away from others who do not live with you. We have to address the fact now that the county is going to allow trick-or-treating. We have to determine whether the FOR will go on with the county's allowance. So before we open it up, let's have discussion first. That makes it a little easier to understand when we vote. Dustin, would you like to start?
Sure. Yeah, I'm not opposed to allowing trick-or-treating on the fort. I think we need to have a pretty strong messaging campaign. If we decide to allow it, we need to be strict with our hours on it. Whatever the start time is, that's what it is, and whatever the end time is, then people need to go home. I would also message a lot about there will be people who normally participate and turn their porch light on and give out candy. If they don't feel comfortable doing that, they should leave their porch lights off, and our messaging should be, if the porch light is not burning, don't go knock on the door. Otherwise, I say we let the kids have Halloween. It's been a rough year.
Mm-hmm. One thing I would add is maybe have, for security, if we're gonna do the open gate, maybe have like pumpkin cutouts with the time. That way, if security is monitoring, they should just be in the units. And that way, if you see a pumpkin patch down at the pool or at Red Bridge, there's no candy down there. And then that way too, if it's after that, then after 9 o'clock, they need to leave. So I would suggest a pumpkin patch for non-members.
To carry or to?
Put it on the window, you know, like on your vehicle.
Sticky
Okay,
window.
just that's what I was asking when you said patch. Okay. So a decal.
Well,
A dollar store sticker.
yeah, stick it.
Yeah, dollar store sticker. Yeah, I'm sure the dollar store
Orange,
has
just make it orange.
tons of pumpkin ghost and whatever stickers. Bill?
No, I agree with Dustin. I think we need to do it. I mean, it's, you know, we can't force people to social distance or wear masks, but we're giving them the opportunity to participate, and hopefully common sense will say, I will wear a mask and I will social distance.
And the trick-or-treaters need to be respectful of the members that don't want to participate.
Right.
Yeah.
Porch lights, no, I'll leave them be.
Okay, that's generally the requirement for any Halloween trick or treat, porch lights off. That's it. Although the county is strongly recommending wearing a mask, because I checked, well, you would know, because you have to check what's the COVID count now in the county.
I think 9, pending. We had a pretty good bump, but I think it was reporting errors initially, so it's still low.
Because the state website shows 64 with 1 death, doesn't break out
Right.
active and inactive, so.
Our actives are, they're still very low.
Okay, so you see that yes on trick or treating, hours from, the county recommends 5:30 to 9.
Should be the same.
I have no problem.
Okay.
Don't cause any more
Right,
confusion.
again, this will put in a dispatch. Lights off if you are not going to participate, using some sort of pumpkin or Halloween themed sticker on cars to make sure that they stay on the neighborhoods.
And I would just recommend that people wear masks.
And then strongly recommend
Yeah,
people
we're not
wear
gonna kick them out
masks.
if they
Right.
don't, but I.
But
we
it's
should
up to the
recommend-
homeowner to decide. If a child comes up without a mask and they choose not to,
Throw it at them.
yes.
So, are we letting the outside come in?
Yes, oh yes.
Okay.
And really, this applies mostly to like only 3 or 4 streets, because I know I'm on Fairway Circle, and we got like maybe 15. One year I had like 40, and then usually about 15. It's the Oaks and
Mm.
Well,
Colony
and
Road.
we close that street
And
down
Airport
because of,
Road.
and so it's golf carts or
Yeah.
walking, because
Put
it gets so
barricades.
congested.
People can't drive.
After we had an incident.
Unfortunate incident, yeah.
Okay. All right, any comment from the membership?
I'm for trick or treating, but could we have security make, I don't know, when they bring in pickups with kids in the back that aren't seated and there's too many, or a gooseneck trailer with the kids, I think that's a safety hazard.
I'm gonna check to security.
Yeah, the speeds they're use are probably low, but it's an extremely good point. We can make recommendations in the
It's hard to social
dispatch.
distance when you have that many people in
Yeah,
there, so
it
kind
is.
of, we can kind of coordinate that, the reason why we're not allowing flatbed trailers.
For slow
Well, I say
traffic.
just make sure they're seated at least.
Yeah.
Get some cattle prods.
Number 1, 2,
I just wanted to address the issue. I mean, my experience driving around on Halloween is that there are certain neighborhoods where middle-aged people, not young adults, middle-aged people gather to party. And lots of them, I mean like 40 people all standing around having a beer. Is that something that we need to control, or is that just tell them to wear their mask and hope to God they do?
Yeah, I mean, that's about it. I mean,
Yeah.
really, it's comes down to personal responsibility
Right.
to adults. So,
especially on private property. You know, security can move people gathering off common property if they're causing a problem, right? But it's still the United States of America, we still have a right to assemble. And unless the county says absolutely no gatherings more than 10 people, there's not much we can do. And then I haven't seen anything lately from the county saying that. So, you know, we're not Nazis, we can't do things. Now, if they're causing a problem, security
No,
can break them up.
nobody's ever caused a problem. It's just a lot of people having a good time together, which is kind of like what we've been,
People are still
people have
gonna
been
have,
haranguing us to not do.
it's Saturday night, people are gonna be having their Halloween parties.
Yeah, that'll be
So-
interesting to see how that goes.
Yes. No, one more, anybody else?
I just want to say that at 80 Baylor Street, we're planning on having an 8-foot candy chute so that kids can come by and get candy.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that's
That's neat.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's been mentioned, there are a lot of cities that send volunteers around who throw candy into kids' yards, where the kids stand there in costume, and they just toss candy to the kids in their own yards.
like first trick or treat.
Yeah,
It's like a
that's
perfect.
called reverse trick or treating, I just saw that yesterday.
Reverse trick.
Okay, any more comments from the board? Okay, Alan, do you have any comment?
I'm not a Halloween person.
Oh, not a Halloween person. Okay, can we have a motion?
I move to allow an open gate Halloween with proper messaging with the hours of 5:30 PM to 9 o'clock PM. We should message safety, social distancing, wearing masks, and strict observance to the porch light trick or treat policy.
Second?
Second.
Approved? Okay, we are approved. That will go in the dispatch. Julie, can you put something together for us to review and we can put that out? All right, that passes unanimously. Okay, next item, approve, not approve, bottle cooler beer box purchase. And Alan, this is one of the ones you submitted, so you have the floor.
Okay, with our remodeling of Creekside to make it more of a establishment for golfers as well as off-site, we need to go ahead and prepare it as a bar. Now, part of the bar back there, there is a bar, and they do have one cooler. Now, it's an upright cooler. And what we will need to basically keep all of the beer and everything else that they sell in the golf course is a beer box cooler that will go underneath the counter. If we're serving breakfast and everything, if anybody knows breakfast, a lot of people don't like to have breakfast where you have beer sitting on the walls or anything else or in coolers. So this will pretty much isolate all the beer from the breakfast crowd. We do not have refrigeration to do beer right now. And it will hold roughly 34 cases of beer, which is plenty for that for a week's possibility. It's just the first thing that we will need to bring that in. Once we get that, we can start moving everything from the front so that we can remodel the front part of the golf pro shop to do offices and storage. So that's why we want to go ahead and get this. Webstron is a place that I've always bought pretty much all restaurant equipment I've bought. I think y'all purchased quite a bit from here. I've purchased quite a bit from them in Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. It's probably one of the better ones. Beverage Air is a very good product, so it's something we can depend on for a while.
It shows the price of $1,698.97. Is that beef? It says ship.
That's before taxes,
Okay,
so I'm not sure what the tax would be.
Probably about 200, a little over
yeah, I
200.
would think.
It'll be less than $2,000.
Okay, are you buying any of the additional
No,
protections? Okay. So it'd be $1,698.97
plus tax.
plus tax, because it says it ships free.
Shipping's free.
$1,900.
Yeah.
I guess.
Maybe I can, this is gonna go in the Creekside part.
Yes.
I didn't really know, did we discuss like what the plans were? I mean, like, in the future, I mean, I know we need that, right now it's for the pro shop to keep the beer, but what, I kinda just wanted, because we can use it in the future, but, you know, I know community council was talking about something about January.
Oh, we want to light breakfast, bar foods for golfers, things like that throughout the day.
Would that-
Nothing bad. There is only an 87-inch hood, which means you can only put 83 inches worth of cooking supplies in there. The stove that was in there, for fire reasons, I would not touch. The fryer is actually in reasonably good shape. There is a 6-top range in Dickman Hall, which I have not tried to clean up yet. That's pretty much the size that will go in there.
So this will just be kind of beer and wine, what
This
basically we
is
have,
just
and we still may
initially
have,
we still may have a range that we need to purchase, it depends on exactly.
right, but Dickman is still, I mean, we're still thinking of having, we're not,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not,
no,
okay.
no, Dickman, this will be strictly sort of a, you know, if you've ever been down to Creekside, it's a perfect place to have coffee and breakfast in the morning, if that's a possibility. And that's the one thing, glaring thing, we do not have available for our hotel guests, or for our RVers, or actually for anybody in the fort. So this will sort of give us a venue that we can actually serve a light breakfast, because we're not going to be able to do it plated. It's only going to be able to do with plastic or wrappers, because we do not have the kitchen to wash dishes or anything else like that. So if it can be sandwiches, it can be light plated with plastic plates, things like that. That's what's gonna be served there. In the afternoon, you can do poppers, you can do chicken wings, you can do, and if we get the range or do something, you can actually do hot dogs and hamburgers, things like that. But nothing expensive that will take away from what will eventually go up here. So,
Snack bar type thing.
it's pretty much it.
That's standard golf course fare,
That's all.
hot dog wheel.
With the exception, it's gonna have a little bit better breakfast. The option will be there for breakfast.
And really, that will help sell our motel and our evening.
It's a must for us to start bringing golfers in
Yes.
from out of town. They have to have something to eat, and so that's what we have to do.
Comments, Dustin?
Well, I would just like to start with, I'd be much more apt to buy this if the picture had good beer in it.
Oh,
I don't know why we're looking at Budweiser, and not to offend you poor Northeasterners, but why is Yingling in here?
Webstron is located in Atlanta.
Gosh.
So,
No, I have no comments, I like the idea.
okay, Bill,
Same, I'm for it.
Brianna?
You're doing the budget.
Okay,
it's in there.
all right, comments?
I'm a little confused. The beer will be sold in one spot at Creekside, or will there be beer sold in the golf part?
No,
Plus, it will all be.
it'll all
in
be
the
sold
restaurant.
out of Creekside.
Okay.
Golf course is moving to Creekside. The pro shop is moving to Creekside. It's a much better venue. They can actually see people teeing off on 1 and 10. So,
I mean, you've got probably one of the most picturesque places there is in the fort not being used.
On one,
So,
I've been on one.
yeah, but that tee box is down right in front of Creekside.
Right across the walking bridge, or the golf cart bridge, which has just been painted.
Yeah, right now, speaking from a golfer's point of view, it's a problem because you can't tell.
So everyone can enjoy the patio.
Yes. Okay, anybody else? All right, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor of the purchase of the beer box? Raise your hand.
I think we have to sample, see how cold it gets.
Yes. It is unanimous, it's passed, we will purchase the beer box for $1,698.97 plus tax. Okay, it's about 10 minutes to 11, let's take a real short break. Let's see, it is 10:52, and we'll take a short break and return.
You said $75 a ton, but hardly.
Oh, yeah. Makes pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to feed my cats, people.